Starting tomorrow, Subway Series #1 happens in the Bronx. Yankees versus the Mets. And shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Ken, Jonathan, Robert. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Good afternoon. Won't keep you that long. Just want to go this really quickly. Okay, and I want to know what your thoughts are too. And again, I want to know, who do you think has the edge? To me, it's just kind of right down the middle. But I want to break up in here here are the, as of this morning, the MLB offensive rankings for team hitting and batting stats, just so you can see where teams stand offensively. Okay. Batting average, the Dodgers are in first, 267. The Padres in second. The Yankees are third, 262. So they're only 400 of a percentage point apart from each other. The Mets are ninth, 253. Now let's go to home runs scored. Yankees are first, 250. They're averaging 5.8 runs per game. Pretty darn good, 241 RBIs. The Dodgers are fourth. The Mets are ninth. Okay. Home runs, the Yankees are in first, 76. Dodgers are second, 68. The Mets are 10th, 52. There's a lot of folks that say the Yankees are reliant on home runs. That doesn't make them reliant on home runs. That means they're hitting them. Okay. If you look at their on-base percentage, they're also ranked first. It means they're getting on base aside from hitting home runs. So that kind of deflates the reliant on home runs argument. That argument could be made last year, but it's less effective this year. 347 on-base percentage collectively as a team, ahead of the Dodgers, who are second at 341. The Mets are at 332 right now in 8th place. Okay. And then we'll go to slugging percentage. Yankees first again, 481. Dodgers second, 471. Mets sixth, 427. Legitimate slugging percentage here, guys. Okay. And is that the last category? No, stolen bases. This is where the Yankees and the Mets are tied. So the Brewers lead in 56. Cubs, Pirates, Reds, Rays. Some of the fastest teams here, the Diamondbacks, they're only 12th. The Yankees and the Mets are tied at 17 with 32 steals. Okay. Yankees have been caught 10 times. Mets have been caught 5 times. Okay. So there's that. On base and stealing stolen bases was the last category. But I wanted to share this with you just to get a little bit of insight as to what we can expect this series. And just something that's not on here is the pitching components. But I looked that up this morning as well. The Mets are #1 in Major League Baseball with a 2.84 ERA team. The Yankees are 9th, 3.62. So there's a lot that can be said. But I do think this Yankees team is better equipped to not get swept by the Mets twice this year, like they did last year. But I'll also say this to the Mets' credit too. Whatever they have going on over in the pitching lab is working, right? They're doing this without Sean Manaea, without ace pitchers. So we've got Max Fried pitching like a damn Cy Young Award winner. They've got Kodai Senga pitching like one too. So it's going to be a well-balanced attack. Okay, and we're going to have Clark Schmidt pitching. We're going to have most likely Ryan Yarbrough. I do not see Max Fried. He's actually officially scheduled on the calendar to pitch Tuesday against the Texas Rangers right now. That's officially in the books right now. I can't see them bringing him back on 4 days rest just to pitch against the Mets when they can go with another left-handed Ryan Yarbrough. We have Carlos Rodon pitching tomorrow. Then game 2 is up in the air. Then we have Clark Schmidt. My guess is they'll go with Ryan Yarbrough. But I see 0 Max Fried sighting in this series. But that's just me. Now, shout out to everybody in chat. We got Spencer's in here. Jennifer, hello. How are you? You know what's funny? The guys over at John Boy yesterday they were saying instead of booing Soto, they should chant, "We have Grisham," and just give Grisham endless amount of love, drown out Soto cheers as a way of trolling Soto. I thought it was kind of entertaining, entertaining. So, and again, Soto's not here now, so we don't need to really pay him that much mind. I mean, the Yankees would be best off neutralizing 1, 2, 3 as best they can. Lindor, Soto, and Alonso. That's when they can do the most damage with the Mets. So, and we'll see what George Lombard is not coming up this year. There's zero chance he's coming up this year. David Cohen, John Stamos, what's happening? Duran, Danifee, yo, my man. Yankee starting rotation is looking better. They are making it. Yeah, I mean, like the rotation's slowly coming together, and the bats are kind of slowly coming together. The Yankees right now currently hit relievers better than they do starting pitchers, at least on the front line from a front line standpoint. But that being said, look at the Mets. They're overshooting their boundaries here. Without Sean Manaea, they're leading the major leagues at a 2.84 team ERA. So that's impressive. So whatever they're doing is working over there. I mean, that includes Clay Holmes. So franchise is in the building. What's good? So yeah, Yankees. Yeah, we'll get to the Rule 5. It's early for that, but there will be some guys the Yankees need to protect after the season from the Rule 5 draft. So Lombard is not at that point yet. They don't need to protect him because he's not eligible to be exposed to Rule 5. So he won't be on the 40-man. Yep. Warren is looking better without Carrasco. You're absolutely right too, bro. And again, he's doing exactly what we need. And we need Clark Schmidt to continue to give them what they need. I mean, hopefully Ryan Yarbrough will continue to do what he's doing. And at some point when Luis Hill comes back, we get another piece of pitching reinforcement. And all along the way, we have 4 or 5 relievers slowly coming back too. I mean, the biggest blip on the Yankees right now this year has been their bullpen with 6 leads blown, or 6 blown saves, right? So the good thing is we have a lot of reinforcements coming back. I mean, the most recent, in terms of timeline sequentially, Johnny the Weisiger and probably Clayton Beeter are going to be the two ones that come first before the rest of those guys. Caskets is in the building. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good series, but I think it's right down the middle. Like I can see the Mets sweeping, I can see the Yankees sweeping. I should say I can see them winning 2 out of 3, and either team winning 2 out of 3. I can't see either team being swept at this point now. Like I said, the Mets are too good, and the Yankees are much better equipped than they were last year to getting swept. So, yeah, Loizaga might be activating this next week. And then Beater, and then we got Jake Cousins coming soon. We've got a bunch of guys coming soon too. So, and Luis Hill. For those that don't know, he's 2 weeks away from getting on a mound. He's already throwing, but he'll be here. The timeline is late June, early July for his official return back to the Yankees. So and now we've got Giancarlo Stanton coming back at some point too. So while folks are complaining about the order of the batting lineup right now, the Yankees are still winning games. So something to keep in mind. Okay, they're still winning games. The recipe is working for the Yankees. Could it get better at some point too? Yeah, but why mess with something that's working? Doesn't make any sense, right? They'll mess with it when they need to. When Giancarlo Stanton comes, obviously it's going to throw a little bit of a dynamic shift in the lineup as well. It's going to push guys down. So, yes, he did, Tim Hill. And Tim Hill needs, if anybody thought Tim Hill was never going to get hit or Luke Weaver was never going to get hit, I mean, there's a reality check that people need to confront. Like these guys are going to get hit, and it's okay, right? So, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, the booing thing could be and so I'm hoping that the Yankees fans don't boo Soto. I'm hoping that they cheer Grisham louder than I think it's a great idea that the guys over there talking Yanks suggested. Cheer Grisham louder than you boo Soto, right? But right now, I mean, Grisham seems to be the ideal fit to be leadoff guy here right now. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be an appropriate amount of booing for the Mets, but keep in mind too, there's going to be a lot of Mets fans in the Bronx too. So it's going to be a fair share of on either side. So, yeah, I mean, that puts him at late June, early July to get his pitch count up, so to be back here. So the timeline is about right. And I'm glad that he's throwing already too. That I'm glad that he's doing. But what's your take, gang? What can you see happening this series? There's so much stuff that people are just obsessing over. That's not important. And just looking for people to blame, for what? Yankees are in first place, right? Are things perfect? No. Can they be better? Sure. Will they be? Yeah, I'm confident. We have time. Yankees, and you can't just go out and get anybody you want either. And complaining about the payroll does absolutely nothing. Nothing. I hope the Judge brings the Mets, the pain on Mets pitching. And I don't even know. I mean, we'll see what Peterson. We'll see a couple other guys. I don't even think we're going to see Kodai Senga, right? Like tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Tyler McGill versus Carlos Rodon. So, and then game 2 lineup wasn't yet. The game 2 pitching matchups were not yet put out. And game 3, which is Sunday, and that's not out yet either. Well, now it's out. Yeah, David Peterson and Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt pitching Sunday. So there's no way Fried's going to throw on Saturday with 3 days rest. Not happening. Yeah, no Kodai Senga, no home. That's right. And keep in mind too, I mean, the Yankees have played a tougher schedule than the Mets have at this point. So whatever that might mean to people, but it gives. I mean, I credit the Yankees for their offensive aggressiveness and their output despite a tougher schedule and hitting some pitchers. Yeah, can they hit the aces better? Sure, but so can other teams too. Like nobody's going to be rocking Paul Skeens on a regular basis. If you're lucky, you hit him once. Very likely it's going to happen again. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mark. You got to send Judge back to the minors to learn how to bunt, man. Yeah. Forget the home run stuff, man. Gotta get a small ball, right? Yeah. I'm telling you. The AL East is, the people are calling it weak and saying the NL West is the behemoth, but like, this is a consistent pattern every single year. Consistent pattern every year, right? And I'm not even sleeping on the Orioles right now, even though they're 11 games under. I'm not sleeping on them. But yeah, 3 straight. Yeah, I mean, Mariners first place, Astros. No, I'm excuse me. A's second place, Padres first place. No, the Yankees won all those series. Exactly, Ken. 100%, my man. And this is the key. And despite all the frustration from fans and the complaints from fans, the Yankees are still doing that. Okay. Cody Bellinger's quietly heating up. More consistency would be good, and I expect it to happen. Right? We need some other guys, but again, we need to see what we're going to get out of DJ, what we're going to get out of Stanton as well. So, 4 consecutive years of ridiculously high. Oh yeah, Robert. And I think he's either going to get his 4th season with 50 plus home runs, or his 2nd season with 60 plus home runs this year, which is a ridiculously crazy stat. Aside from Barry Bonds' 73 home run season, did he ever have more than 50 in a season? Not once. Never had 50 other than that, which is crazy. Crazy. Well, exactly, right. It's just, I think it's reasonable and it's important to level up some on planet Earth expectations for these guys. It's not as easy to think, it's not as easy as you think it is to hit a major league pitching, especially good major league pitching. Ruth had 4. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And maybe Sosa, but Sosa was juicing too. So, but Ruth did. Yeah. Like Aaron Judge, I mean, he's going to be an outlier. He'll be one of the greatest Yankee hitters of all time. Aaron, I don't think he had any 50 home run seasons. But yeah, 34. Yeah, he had. I mean, he had boatloads. 20 plus seasons. He also had 2,000 ribbies. I think he batted 300. Probably the best right-handed hitter of all time. He was so good. Henry Aaron, so good. But we're witnessing something special here with Aaron Judge. And again, this team is much better equipped to withstand the type of stuff that they went through last year that they weren't equipped to go through. So, or recover from, I should say. They're much better equipped to do this now. Yeah, exactly, Ken. They're playing as a unit. Jealous, yeah. Yeah, our offensive players strike out a fair amount. They need to cut down on that, sure. But I like what I'm seeing with the on base percentage, which means they're drawing a lot of walks too, which complements their on base percentage. Doesn't complement the batting average, but it complements the on base percentage, which is good. Which is good. No, um, this team, this season can. I mean, this series can go either way. But I think this is a first real test, like serious test for the um, Yankees, and I think it's the first serious test for the Mets too. We'll see how well these guys are ready to face each other. And the Mets are about to get back Sean Manaea too. So CeeLo's in the building. What's CeeLo? What's going on? Yeah, Toronto. Jennifer, they're quietly kind of climbing up the standings, right? They are being quiet about it. But I do think Boston will wind up being second. But if it happens to Toronto, I wouldn't be surprised. I think, but Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s got a chip taken off his shoulder now. He's got his extension, so he's good. So, yeah. So the Blue Jays can be pretty good this year too, and yeah, patient at bats too. We're drawing more walks than we normally draw, and that's testament to patient at bats. But could they, strike out less? Sure. Could they swing less on first pitches? Yes. Yeah. So the Padres, yeah, I mean they beat the Padres 2 out of 3 games. They won the series against the Padres, the A's, and the Mariners. 3 consecutive series against West Coast teams, either in first or second place. So this is good play by the Yankees. Good play. I mean, people had writing their obituary after Soto left, right? Right? And just thought I was crazy when we were just sitting back and figuring out what they were going to do. And the fact that they brought in kind of spread out depth across the board, which is paying off everywhere. Right? Doesn't make it perfect, but it's paying off everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the top, like Brian Wu, he shut down the Yankees. He neutralized them pretty good. And even Luis Castillo pitched well against them yesterday too. But they got to the Andres Munoz. They got to the bullpen as well. They're not legitimate news sources, Hilo. Rafael Devers. Who's saying that? Are the people on Twitter saying I have sources? My sources are telling me, and never naming their sources. They are focused, yeah. But I don't know any news source that's going to say he's a viable option for the Yankees. And where would he play? And I don't want that. I'm a pass. I'm a pass on Devers. Danny, we'll see. We will see. I just hope that the pitching neutralizes 1, 2, and 3. So Devers is not. Yeah, I mean, he's it's not a good look for him. They're asking him to step up and and he's the highest paid player on the team. They're asking, can you help the team here? At the end of the day, it is about the team, right? He got his money already. So, yeah. Yeah, we did. Nunez is a beast, absolute beast. So, and the Yankees are, wearing down bullpens. This is and it's important observation. I think I'm glad that we're both making it, Ken. This little subtle stuff like this that matters. Like Will Warren kind of quietly getting better, right? Cody Bellinger on a 10-game hitting streak. Underrated. It's under the radar. A lot of the stuff the Yankees doing is under the radar, which is good. I like it that way. And quietly in first place. Not a flashy first place, but quietly, which is good. Really, really, really good. So, but I think it's a shame. And even Bryce Harper said he would be willing to move back to the outfield if Devers was willing to play first base and the Phillies traded for him. He would move positions again. Selfless about the team, right? Yeah, I think Luke Weaver is lighting a fire under Devin Williams' ass, right? And saying you got somebody here on this team who can go toe to toe with you. Yeah. So, and again, when the teammates have his back, it makes it easier to deal with the pressure, the nonstop pressure from the fan base, right? So, and the Yankees teammates, they have each other's back 100%. Boone has their back 100%. And that's the key thing. If they didn't have each other's back, then Devin Williams might get eaten alive. And again, this isn't the Milwaukee press or the whatever, the Sioux Falls, South Dakota press. This is the New York. This is the freaking Bronx. It is a hornet's nest. So, and Weaver's got ice in his veins too. He is absolutely fearless. And I think, Devin Williams is really like, damn, I was the man in Milwaukee, but these dudes are legit, man, up in the Bronx, man. These dudes are legit. And I think it's a realization that he needs to come to this year. I'll take that, BBCYN. Grand Slam for Grisham. Sign me up for that, baby. Sign me up for that. Yeah, Luke Weaver he looks like the kid from Dennis the Menace. It's like it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And yeah, Will Warren's been, what do you have, 8 strikeouts and 9 strikeouts? Yeah. Yep. Will Warren is, he's got good stuff. He just needs to kind of mentally and physically harness it all. And he's getting opportunities to do that now, which is good. Oswaldo Cabrera, I don't know. Jonathan, that's a good question. I don't really know. I think we're still waiting on more clarity on what's going to be, the solve for them. What are they going to do? Are they going to do surgery? Or they're not going to do surgery? We just don't know. They didn't announce it yet. I don't think they know. They're waiting for the swelling to come down. They're waiting for more conclusive testing. So it's easy to just say surgery, but not every fractured ankle requires surgery. So I don't want to jump the gun on that stuff. But if he has surgery, then chances are he won't come back this year. But, it's this one we got to play by ear, Jonathan. Consigliere, there he is, the Prime Minister, Texas in the building. Fernando Cruz too, Duran. Yeah, he's been nothing short of phenomenal in the bullpen. He's been freaking phenomenal. Yeah, exactly. You can't have surgery swelling. You got to let the swelling go down. And if it's a break, gently, or sprain, there's going to be discoloring and swelling. So you have to wait for that to come down. Yep. Yeah, and Chisholm looks like he has a shorter turnaround time, which is good too, and he'll be back in the lineup. So, Consigliere, thank you very much, my man. Appreciate you. Generosity, people in this family is. Yeah, I love you guys. You are the best. Well, exactly. You can't have this cohesive unit. You can't have that, man. You got to fire a balloon, man. You need an alpha male, right? A man, right? You need one of those guys. None of these guys that, looks out for his team and all that stuff. No, you need a man, a tough dude, man. Got to flex, right? Yeah. It's good to see Jazz, and again, if he's hitting off a tee, definitely means he's making progress in his oblique, and that's where his issue has been. So, good sign. It's a good sign. Paul O'Neill. Another, he was like a no frills, straight up get the business. He's like Paul Goldschmidt. No, Paul Goldschmidt is just like, he's a straight up pro. You just get the business, no frills, nothing. I love that. Love that about him. Tough guy. Yeah, I'm a tough guy. I'd rather have somebody who does it with his actions, not his mouth. So many people who talk tough and can never back it up. Ridiculous. DJ? I doubt it, CeeLo. But Paulie was tough as walnuts, man. That guy was tough. Tough, man. Absolute baller. But he wore his emotion on his heart, on his sleeve, man. He's a passionate player. Loved his teammates. Loved the game. He always knew. He had your back. And that team had each other's back. Just like this team, they have each other's back. And that's an important part of a successful team. You got to have each other's back, especially when things get tough. So, and hopefully the Yankees will be, not facing an extreme bout of adversity at some point. So, well, people keep asking the same questions about Devin Williams. So, and maybe he doesn't know. I think beat writers and people want them to just tell them what they want to hear, so they can go on with their talking points, right? He's supposed to protect his players, and when he protects his players, people tell me all the time, I'm making excuses for him, making excuses for Cashman. And instead, it's like holding players, take ownership of something. Boone doesn't always have to be a scapegoat. Neither does Cashman. There's other areas, and the fact of the matter is baseball. People are going to win, people are going to lose, right? This is a fixation with blaming people all the time. I don't even watch any of the post game conferences. I don't care about the post games. I know it gets people riled up. I don't watch any of them. Never, not even a minute. I don't see the point. Game's over. So, you're not going to rip players because then it's going to lead to people speculating, all that stuff. You're not going to do that. As a longtime martial artist, one of the things you praise publicly, you criticize privately. Period. You don't throw people under the bus. You don't give other people ammunition to throw people under the bus or to make suggestions or say Boone said this when you didn't say it, or Boone suggested this when you didn't say that either. That's what something like that does. He's not gonna, drop the bait for people to run with, which is good. That's why Cashman's so tight-lipped too. That's why these guys just go like this, shake off the bull on you, right? Buckeyes in the building. Plays, yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. But, like, what's more accountable than Gleyber Torres costing himself $100 million in free agency, or Alex Verdugo costing himself $70 million in free agency? What's more accountable than that? Those guys screwed themselves, right? Particularly Torres. I appreciate you, Michael Ryan. Thank you. Yeah, you always do it in private, man. Paul O'Neill did definitely destroy water coolers. If I was a water cooler, I'd be shit my pants if Paul O'Neill was around. So Stephen B's in the building. Yeah, it's a military thing too. You don't throw people under the bus, man. Like in boot camp's a different story. Like in buds, you're a bastard to everybody because you want everybody to quit. You want to test people as far as they can, as far as they're willing to go, right? You want to see how far a person's willing to go for the team. Steele's in the building. What's up, Steele's? Yeah, Torres. And we saw it all the time, right? He cost himself like $100 million in free agency. He'll never get that back. It could be, Jonathan. It could be. I broke my ankle, and I was back in about 10 to 12 weeks. But I was super aggressive with rehab and super. I've also broken the martial arts, not running basis, so it's different. Well, yeah, they work for Hal. They don't work for the. And as fans, fans keep saying we pay their salary. We don't. Everything we do is voluntary as fans. Our wages are not being garnished to finance the Yankees. Okay, as much as people like to say we pay their salaries. Okay, that's cool. But everything we do is voluntarily. We love the team. Yeah, he is playing. Torres was playing for a contract last year too. So, and again, they left him out. What they expected to hold his hand at that point. And again, you have the New York media, you have all this stuff, and like Boone's not going to throw him under the bus. He's not going to do any of that stuff. So he hung himself out to dry, unfortunately, Gleyber Torres. Jess, yeah, Gleyber Torres. Tommy Canley, but we were able to replace both of them. So, but the Tigers are legit. But again, like, there's no guarantee that Gleyber Torres would have done it here. Yeah, and you do it as a team. You're going to be a mean cuss. You be a mean cuss to everybody, not just one or two people. Everybody, right? They try to destroy everybody in buds. That's why the fail rate was like 95%. I did not see that. Steals, I did not see that. They changed the ruling on DJ's error. And it shouldn't have been an error. But I think it was, yeah, I didn't think it was on DJ either. Exactly, Steals. It wasn't on DJ. I didn't see until afterward, but you're right about that. Transparency projects in the building. Yeah, Yankees have a. I mean, they have. Last I saw, there were like 4 prospects on the top 100, which is more than they had last year. So, Goldie, you mean Manuel? I don't know if they'll extend him or not. I mean, they may give him another year, but beyond that, I think he's going to go because of his age. I think he's probably going to go on a year-to-year basis. Paul Goldschmidt, in my personal opinion, but I don't work for him. I don't speak for him. I don't work for the Yankees, so I don't know. I really don't know. No. Yankee Mania is in the building. There he is, my partner in crime, Joe. For those that are not subscribed to the podcast, right here, New York Yankees Mania, myself, NFE, Ken, even CT Cards, we've joined forces with Joe on the podcast. If anybody in here is not subscribed to New York Yankee Mania, please do that right now. It's on a good start. We got about 120 subscribers in there, something like that. We're going to try to get to 200 next. Your support is always greatly appreciated. And I don't always have time to do these, so when I do, I like to point out and shout out Yankees Mania. You know, and it's good to have different perspectives. Talking with each other, and different ages talking with each other. Because like guys that are older than we are have seen things that we haven't seen, right? That's why I don't listen to people like Joel Sherman, who's like my age, talking about people that he never saw play, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So, Goldie, I don't know, man. The Yankees made him better, that's for sure. Hudson Valley, yeah, transparency. Yeah, they're slowly but surely. I mean, Ben Hess, Bryce Cunningham, some of these guys are right slowly developing, and then those guys are SEC guys too. The SEC is the strongest conference in baseball and football, so it's good to get SEC pitchers. And I would expect the Yankees to draft another Vanderbilt pitcher in the draft this year too. I would watch out for that too. Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw that on the Knicks game. It's going to be interesting to see. It really is going to be interesting to see. If you haven't heard, Ken was on with CT Cards and Joe this morning, and they do a morning talk at 8 a.m. They talk about baseball recap. They start to preview the series. So take a look if you want some different perspectives. Take a look at them too. Just take a listen. Okay, it's always good to listen to hear different perspectives. Learn different things. We're all collectively the same fan, but we all come from different directions. So the Knicks play tomorrow, CeeLo, Friday. They have to close out. They have to close out the Celtics here. I don't want them to go back to Boston. If they go back to Boston, I think the Celtics are going to win the series. Yeah. And Minnesota eliminated the Golden State Warriors, but they also did lose Steph Curry. So, well, that's the thing too. Yeah, people complain. People complain about their payroll. But the fact is, they are spending. They're on. They did lose 10 spots because of being a repeat offender. They dropped 10 spots in the draft. So, but they will draft. I mean, they'll draft. They drafted a bunch of college seniors last year too, so they'll get guys. But we draft in the back of even the compensatory area in this particular stuff. So, how do I listen to Steels? Just subscribe to it, brother. This is what it looks like. I mean, you see the emblem right here, Steels, on the screen, New York Yankee Mania with the 2 bats. That's what it looks like. If you go to YouTube, just type in New York Yankee Mania. That's the channel you want to subscribe to right there. And it's good to see. It's just good to hear different perspectives, man. But that's how you listen to it, Steels. We definitely appreciate your support, man. Thank you. Thank you, brother. You got to come on here one of these days, Steels, when you get some time too, man. But who you moved from Somerset to I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Steels. It's called a podcast, but it's a YouTube channel. There's a lot of interactions going back and forth, a lot of people talking and so on and so forth. So, yeah. We picked 39 this year, so I don't. I mean, if I was them, I'd be trying to draft an outfielder, a collegiate outfielder first, and then the next picks would be a pitcher. But because we drafted some pitching heavy, but beyond Spencer Jones and Everson Pereira, who do we really have in the outfield? So we need some outfield depth. Well, exactly. I think we'll get an outfielder at 39. I don't know if there's top pitchers that are going to be there. I got that, but we'll see. We will see. Maybe in the next CBA you can try to start to move draft picks too. Trade draft picks. That's not a thing yet. You can't trade draft picks like you could do in the NFL and the NBA. So, which is crazy, but it's true. Brandon, I don't know. I mean, offensively, it's pretty even. I had the stats up a little bit ago. The Yankees have had a tougher schedule than the Mets, but the Yankees are at the top three in most offensive categories except stolen bases, where they're tied with the Mets for 17. But the Mets are number one in baseball with pitching ERA, 284. And that's as of this morning's stats. Looked up the stats this morning. So, and the Yankees are like ninth with a 360. So, and that's without Sean Manaea. So, and again, that whatever they're doing in the Mets pitching lab is working. It's working. So it's I think there's going to be more position players in this draft too, Stephen B. I think there needs to be. You know, I think they will draft a third, and I'm curious to see whether they're going to go after Murakami from Japan. I would agree, Steels too, if they had Colin Hill. I would agree. The pitching rotation would be better, and the Yankees. I mean, the bullpen would be less overused, and they would have blown less games. The bullpen has blown 6 games this year already, so that would be less of a frequent happening too. I would agree with that, Steels, 100%, bro. Mm-hmm. Guy stepped up, Robert. The other guy stepped up for the Celtics last night, and plus they played in freaking Boston, so that fan base was lit last night. They needed to. So I mean, maybe the Mets, I mean, the Knicks will have their, their peak game tomorrow night. So I hope so. Yeah, transparency. We just need somebody. We just need a couple guys up higher up in the system, like Florida Coast League, Low A. Like we need some guys up in Double A and Triple A that can be easily transferable. Like Everson Pereira's, in Triple A, and Spencer Jones in Double A. Beyond those guys, who do we have? So Murakami could be Muncie's replacement. He could very well be. Yeah, Brandon. Trent Grisham was definitely paid off, man. It's. I'm glad we have Trent Grisham, man. I'm glad we have Trent Grisham, and I think that he would be. I would consider keeping him at leadoff for now. IKF would be an interesting one. Yeah, Lombard Jr. just got bumped up to Double A, but he's not coming up to the majors this year. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we need to continue to develop position players. We develop a hell of a lot of infield position players, that's for sure. A hell of a lot of them. Yeah, Will Ferrell. Yeah, we do. Him, Spike, and the rest of them. I saw Jerry Seinfeld was at the game the other day. So, yeah. The Knicks need to win tomorrow, man. They need to win at home. Give the fan base a feel good before they go into that Lions den with the Indiana Pacers, who the Pacers eliminated them last year. So, is Moncada playing at all, Steels? Is he playing at all right now? Is he still with the White Sox? Right, don't change so. But are they anywhere like? They're not ahead of Spencer Jones, right? So, yeah, I mean, Robert, the Mets pitching laboratory is just getting like they got a lot out of Sean Manaea last year, more than any of the teams ever gotten out of him. And they're getting more out of Holmes now. They're getting out of Kodai Senga, so they're getting some stuff. The Knicks lost last night. Yeah, they got their butts kicked, CeeLo. So I mean, the Red Sox. I mean, the Celtics showed that they weren't going away last night at home. So I hope the Knicks put them away in MSG tomorrow. Brendan Jones. I heard about him too. I heard of him. I remember him in spring training. Yeah, I think Grisham's going to move on in free agency. Keeps playing like this, he'll get a decent contract too. 2000. I was at the clinching game, Game 5, when the Yankees eliminated the Mets. I was also at the game in Yankee Stadium where David Justice hit the home run off Arthur Rhodes to put the Yankees in the World Series in the ALCS. That was awesome. Yeah, shout out to Yankees Mania, New York Yankee Mania. That's the channel. If anybody isn't subscribed to that, please make your way over. Just click that link. I want to support. He's a very esteemed member of the family here, so I want to support my family members. I want to support Steels. I want to support all the folks. Whether it be Max Coverage, whether it be NFE, Strike Zone, right? All these guys, Ace Avenue. So thank you, Steels, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Fake news is saying trade Grisham for IKF. Oh, good Lord. What are these people doing? What are these people doing? Yeah, he will. If Grisham plays like this, he'll get 60 or 70 million. Again, thank you, Steels. It's a young guy. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy we need some guys up in upper levels. Like Spencer Jones and Everson Pereira levels. Yankees unloaded with Gary Sheffield. Yeah. I've seen it a little bit too. Pereira, Peraza, and a few pitching prospects for McMahon. Pereira, Peraza. It depends on the pitching prospects, Joseph, but is McMahon going to be available is the question. I mean, the way that the Rockies are playing, they should try to get what they can for him, but it depends on the two pitching prospects, Joseph. Yeah. At this point, yeah, I mean, Everson is more ready right now. Jones, I think, has a higher ceiling, but yeah. And Ken, too, yeah, the ugly truth. You got to give. If you also, my apologies, Ken. I'm missing you in the damn green there. Anybody that's not subscribed to the ugly truth, too. Okay, Ken and the ugly truth. And Ken has a great dialogue with Joe, Yankee Mania, too. They talk, they do play-by-plays together. And again, they stick in the facts and reality, which is fantastic, man. Well, what's the change in pitching, Mania? Fried is not pitching the series against the Mets. Carlos Rodon's pitching tomorrow. Oh, I always mention NFE. I'm always shouting out NFE, and he's also joins me on the Yankee Mania podcast, and we got to make sure we subscribe to NFE's channel too, the Strike Zone, no doubt, Steels. He's not pitching Sunday. Clark Schmidt's pitching Sunday. He's pitching Tuesday against the Texas Rangers. It's already out public, Joe. And this is Tuesday versus the Texas Rangers. Patrick Corbin. Okay, here it is. Here. Patrick Corbin versus Max Fried on Tuesday versus the Texas Rangers, which gives him a full recovery cycle. Well, he's not going to come in. He's not going to pitch on 3 days rest. It wouldn't be wise to pitch Fried on 3 days rest. Saturday would be 3 days rest. So Schmidt's pitching Sunday. Rodon's pitching tomorrow, Friday, and I think on Saturday it's probably going to be Brian Yarbrough. My guess would be Yarbrough. I hope we win 2 out of 3. That would make 4 series in a row where the Yankees win the series. And that's when I think we can consistently win series as often as possibly can. That'd be put the Yankees in a good spot. A good spot. Yes, indeed. But thank you for Don Schmidt and Fried. There's no way Fried's pitching on 4 days rest. Why would they do that to Fried? This doesn't make any sense. Cam Schlittler's another guy. Don't be surprised if you see him this year. Schmidt's pitching Sunday, according to the schedules here. Korean Bucks and collide. I did not see that, JT. Now, I've been having to watch any baseball today. I'm working. I'm going to get back to work in a few minutes. I wish I would have seen it. That would have been fun to see. Yeah. Fried only went 5. Yeah, but he threw 90-something pitches. Wasn't very efficient in his 5 innings pitch. That's the other key. But now, I mean, personally, that's just me. I don't work for them, but I would not be pitching him on short rest early in the season. Hmm. Hmm. The Mariners, man. The Mariners are legit. Man. Yeah, we will. We'll talk about it on transparency. I get dealing with some issues at work, but I'll get to your email. Dealing with some tariff problems right now at work, so. Uh, Free did labor. He still performed, but he labored more than he needed to, which is why I find it hard to believe he's going to pitch in the series against the Mets. Just because it's the Mets, it doesn't make any sense. We can get 5 innings from Yarborough and give Fried the extra day or two to recover. I'd rather take that and pitch against the Rangers, who are also a pretty good team. But we'll see what they do at the end of the day. It's not the Saturday lineup is not the pitching matchup has not been released yet. Friday and Sundays have. Tariffs are a problem for us. We get one of our products from overseas. Yeah, Oasis in the building. What's up, baby? Just giving a shout out to my favorite creators here. Another one, Ace Avenue. We got Max Coverage, we got NFE, New York Yankee Man. We got Ken the Ugly Truth. All these guys, we want to make sure that we're subscribed to these. These are the horsemen. These are the folks that we subscribe to. Yeah, you think so, Sunil? Yeah, the posting system frees them up from that. Exactly. I don't want to risk Free getting injured either. Yeah. I'm confident with Yarborough performing and giving Schmidt an extra day. I'm confident with that. But we'll see what they actually wind up doing. Well, this is true too. Ken's got a good point too. Yeah, umpires do stink. Yeah. The other main man right here, Max Coverage. The whole crew is here. The whole crew is here. The whole crew, man. Yeah, I mean, they need re-education, man. In my opinion, they need re-education. Got to continue to get their education so they're not calling these ridiculous plays, but like a pitch challenge. Yeah, pitch challenge. I think is key, man. Pitch challenge is an absolute key. If we're not going to do re-education for umpires, you got to do pitch challenges, man. No doubt about it. So, no, we're not missing Fortran. Fortran's been inactive. He's off kind of off the grid now. He's dude serving his country, so I want to be respectful of that. But he's another one. Definitely want to support him too. My man Maz. And our crew is definitely deep steals. We got a tight crew, but we roll together. Right, Max? Yeah, man. So what are you thinking, Max, of this? So before I wrap it up, what are you thinking of the series against the Mets? How you feeling about it, bro? And Ace too. How you feeling about it, man? Yeah, we'll see about that, Dead Young. Yes, we'll see about that. You could be the May World Champions, but we went to the World Series last year. You didn't. He is no um no Clay Holmes, no Kodai Senga either. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's got to be agreed upon, I guess, by the umps and union, whoever else. So, Consigliere, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. This is the Prime Minister of Texas right here. I mean, he's my Tom Hagen. Appreciate that, brother. Always appreciate you, my man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Train. He might be on a Golden Jet. We're not going to see. Well, I'm not going to see him in the rotation this weekend. I'd be surprised if we saw him in the bullpen. I, at the end of the day, I'm going to predict and Hector too. Yes, Uptown Sports. Him and his lovely partner, Crime Brace, from Uptown Sports. Thank you, Ken. Another great group. Yeah, absolutely. And Nithin Ramachandra in our group. Yep. Game 5, 15 disgrace. Yeah, too bad you guys weren't in it right now, did you? Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, either way, it's going to be good baseball. It's going to be good baseball. So. Yep. We'll try to link up together in this, Joe. Yeah, they might start walking into. I mean, he's got 15 home runs now. He's on pace for something good. Yeah, this is CeeLo. This is the baseball conclave right here. The Prime Minister, the Pope President. Yeah, the baseball, the 161 River Ave conclave, right here, baby. Right. And we got the bishops too. Ace, Max. We got everybody here. Everybody. The Knights. Come on. Let's go, baby. But I think, yeah, somebody will intentionally walk Judge. And then if they do that, intentionally walk Soto and Alonso. Yup. So either way, it's going to be a good series, a really good series. How do you handle a fault? Call Celtics play ground by the balls, yeah, like they did to Mikal Bridges yesterday. Yeah, grab him by the balls. Sunil's got the always getting the shots fired. Sunil, did you see that nut grab yesterday from the Celtics player? Unbelievable. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope we get some clear weather so we can get some good baseball. Yep, bleacher preachers. We're still waiting, Wink, to see. We're still waiting to see. They have not yet confirmed. They've not yet confirmed what do you call it, surgery yet. So I'm just waiting. I don't want to jump the gun on that. Hector for telling us he can not to jump up. Yeah, you remember that? Hector was live at the winter meetings, and he gave us the intel when Soto and the Mets. It was live. He gave us live time, Soto from the winter meetings, Hector. And thank you to Hector for Uptown Sports for doing that, man. Yep. Throughout the series, I think Judge is probably going to get 1 or 2, Jennifer. RC, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate the generosity, too. The 161 Conclave. It's kind of tight. That's a sexy name, right? Yeah. I think that's we're going to anoint that. Like, hear ye. We're congregating the 161 Conclave. It's pretty dope, man. Thank you, RC. I appreciate that, man. Your generosity. This is the biggest series. I think the Mets and the Yankees have played so far. And this I think bragging rights will be the prize in this series. I agree. Judge, yeah, man. He's on freaking fire. He's on fire. So I'm working on NFEI are working on some fair weather fan merch, some dumpster diving. You're working on that. The guy that I was normally going to put out merch with, he's deployed right now, serving the country too. So out of respect to him, I don't want to go with anybody else. I want when he comes back, I want to go with him. But fair weather merch, I got a new partner in crime. That's NFE. Free agent, Eugenio Suarez. My guess is they'll look into it, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen. Anything that's going to block George Lombard Jr. I'm not in favor of. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Yeah. All shout out the world. Shout out to big shout outs to Paul Goldschmidt too. Yeah, RC. Respect to the people who served, man. And Maz is about to go on like a year-long deployment too. Shout out to Ken who served. Old folks, Buckeye who served. Yeah. All the folks in here who served the country. Shout out to all these. Much love, much respect. Mm-hmm. Jay's in the building. JC now. What's happening, bro? Yeah. But I'm going to be wrapping this up because I do have to get back to work. And I got a lot of work to do. And then I got to pick my girls up at 3, and then I have to get back to work here. So I have one of my kids at home sick today. So never ends. Buxton left the game. Hope he's not hurt. Catch me dead. Yeah, I hear that, transparency. I hear that, brother. I hear that. It depends on when Fried pitches. If he pitches against the Texas Rangers on Tuesday, as he's scheduled here, and I think he'll pitch better than if he pitches against the Mets. He labored a little bit in the last game against the Mariners, and I don't think he'd have enough rest to go up against the Mets, which is a step up in competition. So I would personally wait for Fried to pitch against the Rangers and give him his appropriate rest. And any opportunity to get a guy like that who's on a heater all season to get an extra day of rest here and there, I would give it to him. Yep. John Cena. Thank you too, for transparency, for serving your country too, brother. Yeah, it's too much now. It's just ridiculous now. It's ridiculous. Much will do, and Joe, I appreciate you. So that I think Soto will do okay. I think Soto's going to have a pretty solid year. Over a slow start. He's been just slowly climbing up with home runs and on his usual on base percentage and OPS stuff. He's slowly climbing up. I don't think it's going to be as robust as it was last year, batting in front of Judge, but I still think he'll be good. But I hope we shut him down. I do. But let me let you go, gang. I want to thank you all for coming on and going almost an hour. Peace and love to all of you. You are the best. Please make sure you support our other family members by subscribing. Hit the like button on the way out. And I will talk to you next time.